A couple of things.
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 Hi, welcome to episode 8 of A Couple of Things. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about where to find ideas for your next UX project or how to get user feedback when you can't do full scale research. I'll be talking about 4 sources of valuable feedback that you are missing out on. Hope you learned something and enjoyed this episode. Let's get into it. So, what are these methods that I speak of? How do you find feedback from users when you can't do research? Number one, social media. This is like the easiest one. We know people talk about everything on social media. You do it too. When you have a complaint about an app or an experience, or it was great, whether physical or digital, where is the first place that you go to besides maybe your WhatsApp group chats or talking with your friends? The answer is social media. Your users do it too. So what do? You research your company and your products as well as your competitors on social media to see what your users or potential users are saying about you. What do they wish your products had? What do they think is missing from your product? What do they hate about it? What do they love? And social media is not just Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Search on LinkedIn too, wherever your company has a presence. And even if your company doesn't have a presence on that platform, you need to go there to see what people are saying because people are also probably talking about you whether you're there or not. Number two, App Store reviews. App Store reviews are also a gold mine. There's so much useful information there, but a lot of teams pretend like App Store reviews don't exist. If you look through your App Store reviews, you will find valuable feedback from your users, complaints, compliments, questions, feature requests, everything can be found in there. What are users saying about your app and those of your computers in your App Store reviews? What are they requesting for? What are they complaining about? So we'll take a pause and then I will talk about the other 2 things or 2 sources that you're really missing out on and you should start checking. Before I go into the other 2 things, I want you to take a moment and try and guess what they could be. Let's see if you guessed right. So the third place you can go to is existing studies, aka desk research. There's so much research being done already. People publish their research, and you can use that to find feedback about your user behavior. So companies and research agencies are always putting out one report or the other. For example, Approve recently published a report on consumer fintech experience in partnership with Luca. Uh, Other platforms like NN Group publishes a lot of reports about user behavior, user preferences, and all other information that may be relevant to your product or area of interest. For example, if you're in the VR, AR, XR space, there is a ton of academic research on best practices from social psychology to human computer interaction. If your problem area is onboarding, there's also a lot of research being published out there by other companies or learnings from like maybe a company does a product around their onboarding and they publish their learnings as well. So if there has been research done in your company as well previously, take that out because there might be valuable resources in there. So the point is that you don't always have to like start fresh. You can look at what other people have done in the past and see how it can be useful to you. And finally, this is probably my favorite one, customer support. Customer support, marketing, sales, any other team in your company really that interfaces with users or that does research, one form of research or another. Customer support and all these other ones are so valuable. I've written a whole article about how customer support is so valuable to product development, and I've given a whole talk about it. So customer support, this is how it works. You go to those people, you talk to them, you ask them what are the users saying, what problems do they have. You ask your account managers, your sales reps, your customer support reps, everybody. You ask them for feedback on user complaints, requests, anything that you can think about, especially things that are relevant to whatever question you're thinking about at that time. And then you can actually look through support tickets yourself. I have done that before. Like you sit through, look at what people are asking for, look at what people are saying. Same applies to sales, marketing, any like just think about who in your organization constantly talks to users or does research with them. That way you can get other sources of information that can guide your product development process. Anyway, so those are my 4 valuable sources. 1, social media; 2, app store reviews; 3, existing studies; and 4, customer support or any other team in your organization that interfaces with users regularly or does research at all. So these are great ways to get started with research, especially if you're struggling with getting buy-in from people or committing time or trying to explore the space. However, these do not replace qualitative research methods. Please don't say because you've done social media canvassing and app store reviews and all these other things, you don't need to do research. These are just starting points to help you. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on Twitter @Ladetawak or send a voice message on Anchor and I will address it in the podcast. Thank you for listening to this episode of A Couple of Things. If you enjoyed it or you learned something new, please share and remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes. If you're listening or you can rate and review, please leave a review. Bye.